Hey, today I thought I would talk to you about some tips that you can use to get a patient talking with you more freely and also make your day more full and fun. So watch on. I thought I would talk to you today about making patients feel more comfortable and getting them into communication with you. If you are to be able to treat them well and make them feel special and make you feel happy to get to know a person, there are different things that you can do that set you apart from other practices where they come in, they sit down, they go ahead with the treatment, and that's the end of that, and then they're out the door, and you really never get to connect with the person. So I thought today we would talk about, some easy ways to connect more with patients and to be able to not say, well, how are you doing today, Mrs. Jones, that kind of thing, but have some, questions that stop you in your tracks and get the person thinking and show that you're really interested in them. Because honestly, it can be very boring practicing after a while, I have heard, if you just do your job and don't talk much with the patients. And I'm not saying to spend a lot of time and waste your production time, not in the least. However, asking good questions and being interested in a person really does show that you care, as opposed to just asking sort of so-so questions that everybody, how are you doing today? And, great weather we've been having lately, isn't it? Or wish it would rain, or, that kind of thing. Those kind of things are very banal, ordinary, everyday type things that you can say. So I came up with a few ideas for you. I know that when I walk in a store, one of the things I like is if a sales clerk comes over and says, you know what, I was really admiring that sweater you're wearing. Where did you get that? Or the shoes you're wearing look really, really comfortable. I need those for my job. Where did you get those? Like they show an interest in me and what I'm wearing, and it perks me right up to have somebody interested in me. And don't forget, that's what you want to accomplish with your patient, is showing them that you're interested in them. And you're wanting to really focus on them to give them ideal care, but part of being able to give them ideal care is getting that communication comfortable and flowing between you, so they tell you what it is that they're expecting, what they're afraid of, what their problems are, and so on, and giving them your undivided attention. Sometimes I have seen doctors that I have met with as a patient, be more interested in talking with the staff than me, and that sort of thing. So you have to watch that you give them your undivided attention. One of the things that I have noticed is when you talk to me for even 3 minutes, but you are totally involved in hearing what my answer is, it's like magic. I have one client that we worked with, I think he was like about 32 years ago. We've been doing this 33 years. And I think he was one of our earliest clients. And he was a chiropractor. And he did very short appointments with patients. But I personally experienced this. When he talked to you for 2 minutes, you felt like you had talked for a lifetime, because he was totally absorbed in what you had to say. Nothing else was on his mind whatsoever. I told him I would marry him if he ever became available. I know his wife as well, so I was being sort of silly, but at the same time, that was how it felt, and that's what his patients feel. So having what I call a focused communication, where you just ask questions because you really want to know. Now, there's a lot of different kinds of questions you can ask. I heard one recently, I think it was another consulting company, put it in a cute email and said, start off a conversation by saying, so if you weren't sitting in this chair right now talking to me or having this appointment, what would you prefer to have been doing? And one of the keys to getting communication going is when you ask the question, be quiet. It's really hard for them to sit there and not answer you if you do this really be quiet thing. It's like you create a vacuum where they have to actually walk into it. You've said something, now they have to answer because you're not saying anything more. So that's another way of keeping the conversation really tight and really focused and getting them to communicate with you. There's a lot of questions you can ask. I mean, you can ask everyday things like, do you have kids? Do your kids have kids? Heaven forbid. What do you like most about that? It's just, cool to ask a grandmother or grandfather what they love most about having grandkids. Mine is, I'm a grandmother. And one of the things I like most is when I've had enough, I could hand the baby or the child back over to the parents. and that was the end of the visit for today. But you could also ask things about, do they like to cook? What kind of things do they like to cook? Like, what's their favorite meal? Or if they say, no, I go to restaurants. Oh, really? So what's your favorite restaurant? Is it in this area? Like, I'm always writing down names of restaurants, and actually write down a couple if they give you a couple of good ones. You could ask, what's your dream vacation? Like, where would you love to go if you had next week off? Where would you choose to go? It's interesting, and acknowledge them when they answer. I mean, you don't know what they're going to answer. They may say, I love staying at home and being with my kids, or I'd love to clean the house from top to bottom on my vacation. Say, no kidding. Now that's an interesting staycation, Maybe their favorite hobby or pastime is another one. I'm just looking at my list of questions here. What was your favorite vacation ever? All right. What sport are you most interested in, or do you play any particular sports? Again, these are questions that can start the ball rolling and get a conversation going. And don't be afraid to share back, but just make sure that it's more them talking than you talking. By getting a patient to open up to you and to chat with you and tell you about themselves, I think that it really helps them get more in sync with you and what you're going to be talking about. And, as to their treatment today or what you're proposing for the next time they come, that sort of thing. Just really let them know that you are interested in them and acknowledge them when they tell you things. Don't just go silent. Go, oh, wow, that is cool. Or really? You like doing that? That's so awesome. What made you get into that sport or whatever it is that you're talking about? For you, this makes your day a lot better too. I might throw this in. Because, all day you're seeing patient, and they can become just another person in your office, as opposed to bringing them to life by knowing something about them. I think it really fulfills life a lot more to know about other people and to be in communication. And you might even find some of them become friends because you like each other and you have such interests in common. So there you go. That's my helpful hint for today, and I hope you enjoyed that. If you like it, give us a like, because we always like those, and follow us because we have a regular video going out. And if you look at YouTube, you'll find our channel, The Art of Management Inc., and we have different conversations going. Some are on people skills, some are on getting new patients into the practice. They're on different topics. So go and see our channel and watch for what we post next. Okay, that's all for today. Bye-bye.
To get your practice analyzed, contact The Art of Management at 416-466-6217.